What's up, guys, and welcome back to Greedy Pete's Garage. On today's episode, I'm going to give you an update.
One eternity later.
When I'm posting, because I will be posting a lot more since I'm done with school. I'm getting my life back together, so make sure to...
Well, he's fairly intelligent. He's full of shit!
A lot has been going on the past couple of years since my last video. Lots of life changes, new job, new living situation. I actually have an actual garage of my own, so just been trying to get going with the truck again and make some more progress. I have done a lot to the truck since then, but honestly, when I've been wanting to work on it, I just want to work on it. I don't really want to record some videos, but I figured going forward it'd be fun to see the actual progress rather than just a mental note of what I've done to the truck. So I'm going to really try and start making videos again. My goal is to do one video a week. I think that's very reasonable and doable. I actually have the bed onto the frame. I have a video recorded of me chopping the bed down so that it'll fit with the wheelbase. I haven't chopped the rear out to make it a true short bed, but I probably won't because I really like the look of how the bed sits onto the truck. I think it looks very natural. Sometimes I think that the true short bed trucks seem a little too stubby, honestly. So I may take some more out of the rear, or I may just leave it. We'll see. I mean, I have a long ways to go before I actually have to worry about making sure that the bed is chopped down to the length that I want before paint and all that. But I ended up taking 13 inches out of the front. I do have to redo this section here because it is pretty warped from my welding job. Never claimed to be a body man, but I did the best that I could. What else have I done to the truck? I actually have the new engine and transmission fully set in there with the mounts. All said and done, as you can see, it is a Mercedes-Benz turbo diesel OM606. I actually thought about this engine for quite a while, and I finally just bit the bullet. I was going to do the 4.6, then I decided, no, we'll do an LS 6 liter. I thought that was boring. Ended up getting the engine, get a Holly harness, all that, but then decided, you know what, I really want to do something different with this truck, and I'm a big diesel guy. So I figured an OM606 would be the perfect engine for it. I ended up picking one up. I have got a ton of goodies for this engine. It's going to be fully built. I've got valve springs, I've got rods, I've got billet manifold, everything that you can think about for these engines I pretty much have. And that's pretty much going to be like that first or that first video series that I'm going to be putting out, is we're going to actually be going through and refreshing this engine. I'm going to be sending it off to have it rehoned, have the head deck just to make sure everything is nice and fresh and will seal up nicely. Other things that I have done to it, I built myself a conversion rack to utilize a 2015 Mustang electronic steering rack. So it's fully electronic, no power steering. So this will actually be deleted. I'll put either a delete pulley on it, or we will delete the vacuum pump and utilize something else that runs off the drive belt, because these vacuum pumps are sort of known to explode and cause issues, but we'll decide on that later on. But this rack will give you much better steering performance, as well as it works very well with these Crown Vic subframes. Another thing that I've done is I actually sell kits that will allow for the factory Crown Vic brake booster to bolt up directly to the F100 pedals. So if you are interested in that, head over to my website, ppmfinc.com, and there will be a link down below for you to pick up a kit. This brake booster and master cylinder bolts directly up, and it fits very nicely with the Crown Vic setup. Additionally, as you can see, I have a Nissan CDO09 transmission. That's going to be my transmission choice for this build. I love manual cars. I figured that that's what's really needed for this truck. So that's the transmission that I've got for it. That's made it up. But this truck was originally a mechanical clutch style, so we have converted the clutch pedal to be hydraulic. This is just a Willwood master cylinder. I believe it's a 3/4 bore. It might be 5/8. I don't remember off the top of my head. But these filler plates will also be on my website. Basically, they'll be out of 1/8 inch steel, and you'll be able to weld those in. And we can, if you need custom modification, you can email me, and we can do whatever sizes or whatever you need to modify it to your application. But that's all converted over, and overall I'm extremely happy with the way that the truck is turning out. I'm getting ready to get this engine off to the machine shop, and then I'll be putting the front clip back on, and you'll be seeing me graph in the factory frame horns, which I got right here. So those will be graphed into the Crown Vic chassis, and it'll be very cool and very well done. I'm excited to get this truck going. My goal is to actually have the truck drivable by the spring. At this point, I want to see it go down my driveway and back. So that's the ultimate goal here. But hopefully I'll take you along the ride, and we can get some fun videos out there. Hopefully you guys will enjoy them. Let's see what else. Yeah. Anyway, I'll get going, and I'll probably just do maybe a time lapse or take a couple videos of me tearing down this engine. So I just got the fuel lines off from the factory setup. I will be switching to a OM603 pump that I've had built by Wicked Injections out of Texas. I believe they're associated with Benz Force. If you need any parts for Mercedes, not just OM606s, but a whole bunch of platforms. I know 603s, 605s, and a couple other platforms I believe that he has to offer. He is a outstanding part supplier. Customer service is his strong suit. He has done nothing but well with helping me out with information, as well as providing quality parts and backing up his parts that he does sell. So if you need any parts for these engines, hit up Benz Force online, that offers amazing products. But anyway, got all of the fuel lines off, getting the pump pretty much all ready to pull, as well as I pulled off a couple of the accessories. I'll pull off the rest in just a minute, but I think I want to get the head off first. I undid the hydraulic tensioner, so that's all good to go, so there shouldn't be any tension on my chain. But the cams and everything looks in perfect condition in this engine. Super happy with it. So I think I'm ready to get the head ready to pull off. I know that I have to, I gotta grab a bolt so I can thread that in. This is actually, you gotta use a slide hammer to install, as well as uninstall this pin here, because this pin holds this timing chain guide in there, or roller chain, whatever you want to call that. So yeah, you got to make sure that it's threaded inside there. Let's see if we can focus. So it's threaded. I'll put the bolt size on there. So yeah, you just thread that in, and then use a slide hammer to pull out, and that should slide right out. And then we will get the cams off, and we'll pull the injectors. I have a special tool as well that I made. Make sure to pull your glow plugs as well. I already got those all out. Those came out nicely, thankfully. So yeah, that's what you'll see. Little tip for you: when you're pulling these pins out, you could thread in a bolt. It's a M6 by 1.0 bolt pitch thread, but you could put in a bolt, pull it with a slide hammer. Sometimes it might be easy depending on how big of a slide hammer you have, but in my case, it worked great on this one. This one was a little bit less seized than this one, but what I just did with this guy here, I'm still working it out. Thread it here. I just threaded it in, and then get one that's longer, and essentially pull it out like it's a stud almost. So this guy here spins freely, and then this one here is actually the same pitch as that thread, that M6 by 1.0. And then as long as your pin is smaller than that hole right there, you can pull it right out. It's working its way out. But yeah, here's a little tip and trick for you. Alrighty guys, here's a little update for you. Got the cams out completely. I got those pins out. I should have actually done this little bolt trick on the top one as well, because that was a million times easier and a lot less physical activity to get that guy out. But the longer one goes on the top portion. That's where your belt tensioner is going to attach, and then the shorter one goes right below the water neck. And then I just slowly pulled the caps off and just broke them down pretty much the opposite way of the camshaft torquing sequence. And then I just labeled, or numbered, excuse me, my lifters. They look pretty good. There's some of them are a little bit more worn than I'd like, but the cams look great, so I'm not too worried about it. I'll see maybe if I should replace them or not. But I'll talk with my engine builder and see what he thinks. So from there, I put the valleys, or whatever you want to call it, back on. I just put 2 of them on there, so it's a lot easier to lift, because you kind of have a little bit of a suction from all the oil underneath. And then from there, I'll pull the lifters out, get those in some oil just to let them sit while I'm getting this rebuilt, and we'll keep on plugging away. Got the lifter trays out. Everything looks good. Nothing out of the ordinary that I could see. I've got new valve springs, upgraded valve springs for this. I'll go over all the parts that I'm going to be putting into this build when we actually put the engine together. But at this point, I'm just waiting on my triple squares to show up, because I didn't have any, and I forgot that these are triple square, or XYN, or whatever that's the other name for them are. But at this point, I'm going to start cleaning up and organizing this mess of tools, and try to get everything organized and labeled, so that when it goes to reassemble time, I'll be able to get everything together nice and neat. I think I'll probably pull the accessories off as well, and then my triple square should be showing up. We'll pull the head off, and then at that point I will most likely be pulling the whole engine and transmission out at that time. Alrighty, got the head off. Everything looks pretty good to me. I did notice that back cylinder, the spray pattern looked a little off, but I think that's due to something wasn't sealing fully. I did have some oil and diesel, so I think that injector wasn't fully seated, so there was something off on the back on that last cylinder, but that'll be addressed later on. I'm going to tear those injectors apart, pressure test them, probably bump them up to 150 bar. I think the factory setting is 135 bar, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes. But everything else, I looked to see if there was any sort of break in the sealing surface to maybe see if there was any issue. There wasn't any issue before when I did have the original car running, but we'll find out when we send it up to the machine shop. He'll measure everything and see if there was any issues. The actual cylinder walls, you can't really see it in the video, but the original cross hatching looks great. Again, we'll see what my machine shop says we should do. All this carbon buildup you see in the cylinders right there, that's actually originally from when I pulled the pre-chambers. Those things were loaded up, so that'll all get cleaned out. I'm not going to rotate this engine at all, just in case there's a chance of scoring of any sort. So we're going to get these accessories off. I'm going to pull the EDC pump off, get this block stripped down as much as I can, and then at that point I'm ready to pull the engine. I think I'm going to cut it off at that point, and in the next video you'll see me pulling the engine, and then we're going to get the front clip on. So with all that, thank you very much for watching Greedy Pete's Garage, and until next time, Greedy Pete out.